Hi, this is Cathy Zukimoto with IdeateTV, and I'm here with
Sean Callery.
and he is a music composer for film and television. Right now I'm cheating off the poster because it says that he does it for Jessica Jones in 24, which is very exciting. Would you say that your stuff is mostly dark and moody?
Certainly in season 2 of Jessica Jones, there's a lot of dark and moody, but there's some uplift there too, and it's a good season. It's a great season, so don't be scared off by the dark and moody. It's good. It'll be all right.
Well, it kind of sets the tone for what I try to tell people is that you usually have to see the imagery first, correct? And then you get your inspiration for the music from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the scripts are the first thing I ever see, and I start thinking about ideas based on the script. I mean, when you it's hard to imagine Kristen Ritter not being Jessica Jones, but when you read the script, I only knew very vaguely about Miss Ritter's acting from a couple of shows that she did. And so you're reading all this stuff and you're saying, my God, this is going to be kind of cool. And then you finally see these, then I got to see still images, just slides of her and Hogarth and Kilgrave, all the characters. And then I took the writing even further. And then so I had some melodies going by the time I got the first cut of the show. Yeah, it was a well, we did discuss things. Like, it's a little. Did you see the season 2? Did you or once?
Okay, yet, but I will.
But it has a noiry, jazzy. It's a bit of jazz and dark, and so it's a fun language. The language is different on the show in terms of music.
It sounds like your job is a lot of fun, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we are alone a lot of the times. I mean, we do spend a lot of time alone, and if we get a mental block or a writer's block, you got to kind of like walk around and shake it off.
Yeah.
But it's part of the gig.
Would you say that, okay, this is something I ask composers because it's very fascinating to me. What do you do when somebody falls in love with a temp track?
You step out into a moving intersection and pray for a quick death. I mean, look, it's sort of I think someone told me once it's called the forbidden love, because what it is look, I've had situations where people are temping in music from prior work that I've done, and they felt they're in love exactly with this piece in this moment, and you want to do something different sometimes, and prying someone's love for that it can be tough. It can be tough. I always compare it to like people wearing an old shirt or shoes. Like when they're comfortable, it is very hard to get them to wear a new pair of shoes or a new shirt. And sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're really right about the way it's sitting. But I'll give you an example. Once they cut in the Godfather theme to an episode of Medium that I worked on. Now, they were like, well, we'd like you to do a Godfather, kind of thing like that. I'm like, I said right there, I said, I can't. I said, I mean, no matter how, I'd have to be, you just trust me. You just got to license the darn thing. And they did, thank God, but there are certain things you can't go being influenced by or touching. And that was one of the moments. Yeah.
Very, very smart on their part.
Okay, at least I got my weekend back. So anyway.
Are you a musician as well? Are you in a band? Do you play an instrument? Is that how you got into music?
I was a classical pianist as a kid, and I went to a music school for classical music in Boston, New England Conservatory. But I wanted to do film scores since I was very, very young, when I started going to Star Wars in 2001 and all these great movies. I played in jazz groups. I played at Epcot Center and an orchestra band there. I was going to be probably just a musician, but then I got an opportunity to come to Los Angeles and work in a recording studio, and I got to meet composers like Mark Snow from the X-Files and so forth, and I got opportunities to compose through some very generous people. We all get here through some very combination of luck and timing and certainly hard work, but I don't use this word lightly, but you're blessed to be able to work on a show, period, let alone a successful show, and I've been very lucky.
Do you do features as well?
No, not really. I mean, I've done a few. I've done a couple of small independent films and so forth. I remember when 24 first came out, there was a feeling that someone said, hey, you should let go of 24 now and go in. But I was having so much fun writing for 24 that I just stayed where I was. And now there's such an integration of feature people and film people making small screen Netflix stuff, and so it's all a great neighborhood. We're all here.
It sounds like your job is a lot of fun, like I said before, and I know there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this that want to do what it is that you do. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them to get their start?
I've hired a few people over the years that I've met, and they have all either participated in some sort of workshop that I attended that I was participating in, and they came up to me afterwards and introduced themselves, and then they kind of kept steady contact with me over, like every 6 or 7 weeks. They would email me and say, "Hey, we met. This is what I'm doing." You know, there's a difference between never contacting a person or stalking them every 3 days with stuff. But I always found that when they checked in every 6 or 7 weeks, I'd say, "Oh, I remember that person." Then the person I most recently hired did a workshop he was from Toronto. He said, "I'm moving to LA." The timing worked out where I brought him in as an assistant. So it's that eternal problem of how do you make a good relationship? You know, how do you establish a relationship so someone wants to work with you? And in this world with social media and all the distractions that are available to us, it's very hard. It's hard for me. I mean, you know, wanting to meet this person who's working on something that I'm interested in. So we are all in the soup together with this. But you have to keep. The other thing I would say is this kid also was talented, and he kept working on it. He kept practicing. You know, he didn't rest on any kind of laurel. So and he had a great attitude. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. I think our viewers would really like that. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us.
It's a pleasure to meet you.